We start off seeing Team 7 posted up with Yodo and Araya just stalking Ryu and Matsuri getting intel. Looking like me and Jiraiya when we see Tsunade on her date with Den. Ain't no way we letting this go through. And after we finish, I'm sliming him too. Before Konohamaru asks if they ready, and Yodo says she's gonna do her best. Which can also be translated to, I'm about to fumble the entire bag. But just look at Araya's face. He already knows she finna find some way to sell. But eventually, Team 7 pulls up on him and Matsuri immediately starts feeling Konohamaru's aura. You would think she saw me walking down there or something. I would say I gotta take some lessons from him, but he been fumbling the bag the whole series. Like bro, how do you fumble Hanabi? Hanabi! But the aura is so crazy, she don't want to talk. This man might be a cheat code. But he's still able to smooth talk his way into teaming up with them. Even going to his Scooby-Doo bag saying that they should split up. So Sarada and Mitsuki go with Ryu and Konohamaru stays with Matsuri. You's a smart man, Konohamaru. I know your game. And honestly, I respect it. Got that Floor General Hall of Fame badge. Go ahead and get that ISO, my boy. Because Matsuri may be a 10 tails, but that's still a 10. And so the squad goes to meet up with Araya and Yodo, and I just want to acknowledge how Araya got that shit on, bro. Ikimoto must have been looking at pictures of me what he designed, bro, because the fit is tough. But Yodo already selling, staring into bro's soul. She acting like he the one that packed up Shinky. So then he starts spreading out his iron sand, making me think he was not taking that kind of disrespect and about to pack her up off rip. But instead, he's just using it to look for clues. Seems innocent enough, but just look at Yodo, completely unbothered, just waiting for her chance to end this thing. And Ryu senses the bloodlust that's just oozing from her body, just like how you can smell speed coming from a mile away. But luckily, Mitsuki breaks the tension, asking why the Shinju want Boruto, which eventually leads to Sarada suggesting that they use a thorn bulb to lure out Boruto. Even though honestly, seeing one should give him PTSD, and shit, Sarada too. They both got sniped last time they saw one. But Ryu being such a nice and gullible guy, he without hesitation takes out his thorn bulb and puts it into the air. So now everything's going according to plan. They should have Shinky back in no time. Except this girl Yodo launches to the bulb, but just freezes in the air because Ryu saw this coming 13 pages ago. That girl couldn't wait 10 seconds before making a move. Didn't want to cause a distraction, start boxing or nothing, just straight went for it. Complete and utterly selling the bag. So now Ryu says that they need to be punished, showing off his kinky side. And just look at Yodo back here stuck. That's what her dumb ass gets. But then Sarada jumps up and we find out the iron sand is actually controlling them and their movements. Until we see a slash freeing them from its control because that man Araya clutched up with his sand sealing blade that's infused with Shinky's chakra. And ironically, this is the ideal time for him to whip it out. And so not only does Araya have that shit on, he also is a swordsman. Like bro, how much aura do you need? So he swings it again, freeing Mitsuki and setting us up for the face-off before he tells him the plan. And Ryu is utterly disgusted at the disrespect, making him turn up, sending hella sand that just gets blocked by Araya as more pops in behind him that gets blocked again. As Sarada loads up, blasting a fireball that gets blocked by his sand shield, showing us that Gar really did teach Shinky everything he knows. Bro doesn't move at all, just stand still and spam sand, which sets him up perfectly for Mitsuki to send snakes busting out the ground behind him that go tying him up. And he already in Sage mode, not taking no chances, sending in more snakes, making Ryu disappear out of there because apparently bro can turn himself into sand like he a damn Logia user, thinking he Crocodile. Till Yodo says she hears sand rubbing together at 2 o'clock, making Araya instantly press her, making the sand gather, setting Mitsuki up for the beautiful lob as he goes right into Ryu with the snakes. Except that was not enough, because then Sarada gets that Sharingan out with the Chidori ready, going right through his side, giving him that Boro special, making him turn into sand again, once again, ducking the fade. The Shinju really are the modern day Uchiha. Just a bunch of front runners that are not like that for real. But Sarada says her attack was too shallow, until Yodo hears something above and Araya forces him back again. Except this time we see claw grime spawn in that Mitsuki tries handling with snakes and Sarada tries packing up with the Phoenix Flower Jutsu. But it's just way too many for him to handle as they land surrounding Yodo, as she packs up one and gets a hickey from another, sealing her fate with Sasuke. Till Araya pops up, slicing down his shoulder just for his sword to get stuck, as even Ryu pulls up, making them look super cooked. as he grabs a claw Grime's neck, making him start to absorb the grime holding Araya's sword and taking it away. Meaning now it's nothing they can do against the sand, as he blasts off more of it that Araya tries to block with the sandstorm blast that does absolutely nothing, as it still hits him, putting bro in the dirt, which is probably the closest he go get to Gaara for a long time. So now Mitsuki sends in his snakes to go encounter. They end up pressing him, making Ryu grab Araya, launching him towards the snakes instead, which makes Mitsuki stop him, setting him up to get smacked with the sand, sending him flying back into the ground, already knocking him right out of his sage mode. Bro should be ashamed. Before Ryu goes lifting him up, putting him right beside Araya in front of him, showing us that he has all the leverage. So now he starts telling them to give him any info they can on Boruto. And of course, Yodo's trash ass tries to get Sarada to fold, even though she the reason they in this situation anyway. Yet she got the audacity to try and get Sarada to turn into 6'9", and after all that acting tough earlier too. But regardless, they tell him they don't have any info anyway, leading to Yodo saying that Ryu can just take her instead in exchange of letting everybody else go. So maybe she's not too bad after all. Except sadly, we'll never know, because the next thing we see is Yodo get cooked by the sand straight through the gut, doing her best Inojin impersonation and getting put on the ground sprawled out as Sarada rushes over. But Yodo already knows that she's cooked. As then Sarada also gets tied up with sand, which is so crazy because out of everybody here, Ryu chooses to murk the one person offering to help while just tying everybody else up. He claimed it was because she was talking down to him, but as a ball knower, I know it's because of how she was looking at him earlier. Me personally, I wouldn't have took that disrespect either. But even though she's 2 minutes away from meeting Gaara's parents in hell, Yodo chooses to use this time questioning Sarada about if she really knows who she is, even asking about the power that she's been refusing to use, as she tells her that she's allowed to use her power to protect that special person and not just for the greater good, as she then activates her Sharingan. Before Ryu says, "It's time," before she suddenly drops the kunai as the sand starts backing off of her, and Ryu looks up to whatever this is in the sky that starts sucking in the sand, even freeing Mitsuki, as he looks over at Sarada, who finally brought out that Mangekyou. That's what I'm talking about, man. I was low-key starting to think she would just never go use it. She was out there fighting Hidari with 3 Tomo. She even got caught lacking a couple times too. I was like, what better time? And also because of this moment, I realized Sarada was really about to beat Ko's ass if Boruto didn't come getting in the way. But finally seeing it 20 chapters later gives me 100% confidence to put her over Sakura in the Uchiha rankings, man. Shout out Sarada. And just look at her face, man. This how I know Ryu is cooked. That girl looking pissed. So she looks and makes another sphere in the sky that Ryu looks at tight, before sending sand towards her as she back here looking like Goku that just goes to get sucked into the sphere again without her even breaking a sweat. And Ryu has no idea what's going on. But I'm not worried about him because look at Sarada, man. She really is Sasuke's daughter, man. But so now Ryu decides to send sand from behind that she still just sends away right past Ryu and into another sphere, sucking it right up, with Sarada still just standing there not stressing in the slightest. As we even see there's a total of 4 spheres until suddenly she activates that eye and Ryu just starts floating like he on the moon. And Sarada like, not gonna lie, that shit look fun, and she starts floating up too, going up there with them as Mitsuki realizes she's using gravity, which would be insane already, meaning this one ability is better than both the Sasuke's. Because I mean, let's be honest, who is scared of Amaterasu? As Ryu tries sending sand into the ground to save him, but nope, he's still getting sucked up. And out of respect, pause. But now he's being pulled towards the sphere as she tells us that through rejecting her feelings, she was also rejecting her powers. And man, she looks tough. But now Ryu is stressing, calling her a psycho as he sends even more sand at her. But she locks in and makes it huge, putting him right on top of it. Till he spawns a claw grime and puts through 2 fingers that Jura sees, but pretty much was like, nah, I don't really feel like it. Because whole time he already knows bro's getting cooked, but could not care less. All that love shit is for the weak. As he go back to Sarada, whose eye actually starts bleeding, but only one of them, meaning she still probably got another ability in the other eye. Before we get to see this masterpiece, oh my gosh, it's so tough. As we even get the name of it, Oharume, which to be honest, looks way too similar to Orihime. That junk throw me off every time. But because it's an alternate name for Amaterasu, I'll let it slide. But now Ryu starts getting sucked in and he is going through it. I ain't seen this much emotion from a villain since Ashiki. But luckily, he don't have to stress anymore because the next page, he's gone. Looking like he turned into dust like he got Thanos snapped. And leaving Sarada in the air before she passes out, showing off that Kakashi level stamina. And also why she is indeed the strongest Uchiha.